Before I get started, I'd like to kindly ask that you hit the like button, and please subscribe to the channel for more content just like this.
All I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
Finally, someone is standing up to this cancel culture bullshit. And that someone is legendary comedian Dave Chappelle. It's been a little while since I've made a video about cancel culture because I don't really like to give it too much of my attention. But the solution to this problem has always remained the same. Simply do not apologize.
You about to cross some fucking lines.
Guys, relax.
The reality is that people who abide by the process of canceling someone live in this fictional world that they've created for themselves on social media or on YouTube, where they like to think of themselves as some kind of moral police. Really, it's just code for, if I don't agree with you, I'm going to attempt to ruin your career and try to deplatform you. But you know what the big secret is? Is that the people who act this way actually have zero power over you. And pay attention, because in most cases, you have nothing to prove to anyone.
No shit.
And don't tell me that it's about accountability, because that's a crock of shit too. Because there is no consistency between who's held accountable and who's allowed to continue working. It's a one-sided, biased way of looking at things, and no one can convince me otherwise. Now, I did watch the much talked about Dave Chappelle comedy special on Netflix, and lo and behold, I agreed with some things he said, and disagreed with others. Imagine this for a second. I actually disagreed with something he said, but it didn't ruin my ability to enjoy his comedy. Why? Because I'm a normal human being, and I, unlike most people, don't need to be told everything I want to hear.
That makes sense.
Like filmmakers and writers, I want comedians to be able to operate without restrictions. Because that's how we get the best content out of these people. Do you really think that they could be the best at their job if they're constantly worrying about something that they might say will probably end their career? I think honesty is the key here. Honesty makes me respect people more so than being phony and virtue signaling. These things are all about presentation. And Dave Chappelle, whether you agree with him or not, presents his beliefs in the most digestible and relatable way possible. Because he comes off like a real person talking to you and not someone reading out of a handbook.
Move this man!
I don't think anything Dave Chappelle said is actually hurting anyone. I would argue that Dave Chappelle is actually bringing awareness to the real problems that society as well as entertainment is facing. So I found this tweet from user PostAshley at PostAshley42, who proclaimed that she is in fact trans and that she wasn't offended by Dave Chappelle's special at all. This person goes on to say that he's not attacking trans people. What he's actually doing, if you're paying attention, is attacking people who claim to speak for an entire community. As if there's no individuals included within it and they're all defined by their labels.
I'm having trouble.
These are the people who promote outrage culture. These are the people who say they want understanding and tolerance, but yet they silence people who dare to ask a question. It's very hypocritical, and we live in a world that's more and more understanding of the differences between people than it's ever been. Yet people continue to make issues where there aren't any, and that's the real problem here.
Some motherfuckers are always trying to ice skate uphill.
I don't think Dave Chappelle is transphobic, just like I don't believe that I'm homophobic just because I reviewed a TV show honestly. Everyone is so quick to label someone as an ist or a phobe without taking the time to understand their point of view. In this special, Dave speaks about a trans person who he called a friend. This person was actually bullied into committing suicide just because they supported Dave Chappelle and idolized him because they wanted to be a comedian. Does that sound healthy? Does that sound like people who are being tolerant? When I say that I don't like how a show portrays the world as being this overly homophobic place, that somehow makes me homophobic and deserving of verbal abuse as well as attempted bullying.
Let's gut the freaking nerd.
Newsflash, I can't be bullied or canceled because I don't give a fuck what you think. People will judge your entire character based on a 7-minute review you did of a TV series without even watching the full video. That, my friends, is cancel culture. But we all know that no one can really cancel you except you. Do not give in to people who are only concerned with creating more boundaries and not finding common ground with people who are different than them. That's how you make society stronger, by having conversations like an adult, not by going on social media or on a YouTube comment section and insulting people.
That is one big pile of shit.
I've always said that if you disagree with me, I'm always down to have a conversation, but you have to come correct. You want me to see things from your perspective? Then it's all about presentation. That's what Dave Chappelle is talking about. That's why cancel culture is destructive and toxic. Because it's creating a society of people who can't comprehend differences in opinion, and who only want to silence people they disagree with instead of bringing people together. Comedy can be an amazing tool for healing, if you can put emotions and egos aside and allow yourself to laugh again.
Had you ever heard of the healing power of laughter?
Just like movies and television are supposed to be escapism, and shouldn't be riddled with this heavy-handed social commentary that does nothing to solve the problem and only makes things worse. People have become so concerned with finding flaws in people and ridiculing them for it, that they've seemingly forgot what it means to be an individual. My challenge to you is to make yourself uncancelable by not allowing people who know nothing about you to have any power over you. So let me know what you thought about all this in the comments down below. As always, please like, comment, share, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell for notifications, and I'll see you next time right here on Real Shift. Thanks for watching. Peace out.
Y'all be cool. Right on.